Hello, folks. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. I hope you're having a great day. Um, if you came for keyboard content, you came to the right place, just on the wrong day. Because today we're going to do something a little bit different, just a teeny bit different. Mr. Petrov, thank you very much for coming first into chat today. Wondering Man, hello. Tech Tenocticlack. You got third, but hey, that's all right. Nothing wrong with being there in the bronze spot. Please, Vespine, hey, you were like in fifth, man. Musa Rides, thank you very much for joining. Joe from Crafted Cables, he says Game Boy build. Let's go. We are building a Game Boy today. We are gonna be building a Game Boy today. Yes, this is not. This is a keyboard stream, but not about keyboards today. Let's just try to do something different. Just give you guys some content. Jay Saints is here as well. He says, good evening. Langalandia, my friend, my beautiful friend. Thank you for being in chat, dude. Penguin Droppings is here as well. Laughing at my Petrov joke, I think. Acidic Pure, Boxy Pixel Game Boy. Yeah, so you'll see shortly, but Boxy Pixel are a company that do metal housings for Game Boy Advances. So that's what we're going to be building today. But it's a little bit more involved than just changing the housing. Anarchy's here as well. My first time live. Nice. Well, this is later than I usually stream for builds, but it's earlier than I usually stream for the actual show of Top Clack. So, what switches in the Game Boy? Rubber domes. Yeah, membrane rubber domes. Yeah. Lovely jumper, Jay. Thank you, man. This is my fisherman's jumper. Yeah, people at work have been saying, because I've been at work for the day job today on video camera. People have been saying that dressed like this, I look like a fisherman with the beard and everything else. So maybe. Remember the 3rd of November. Yeah, our dog got scared from fireworks earlier on today and weed on the bed because she was so terrified when we nipped out for an hour. My bad. What was he saying? I got an ad. Is this not going to be a keyboard stream? This is a keyboard podcast, but this is not a keyboard stream. Petrov saying that he's actually a very generous lover typically. That's not what Mrs. Petrov tells me. Gia says, finally here. Hey man, good to see you. Langalandia says, you don't have to try and catch me. I'm already yours. Oh, my heart sings. My heart. Okay. So, let's flip over to the camera and I'll show you guys just exactly what we're working with today. Hello, Mr. Clack. Hello, Coinstorm. Let's see if we can flip over the cameras. There we go. Can you guys hear the music, by the way? Well, I'm trying a new music service out, which is actually the Twitch music service. So you guys let me know if you can actually hear the music or not. It's low, but there. Okay, let me turn it up a touch. How's that, Lang? Is that a little bit better? It's just some chill tunes that are in the new Twitch service. I just want it on nice and low in the background. So, okay. So, this, my friends, is my childhood Game Boy Advance. You can see it's taken a beating over the years. It's scratched, to say the least. It's not in the greatest of condition, but it does still work. So what we're going to do today is take this apart and do a few mods to it. The first mod we're going to do is we're actually going to change the screen for a backlit IPS panel. So this is going to light up and have a backlight. So it's going to look like a phone screen. It's going to be nice and bright like a modern day screen would be. So that's the first thing we're going to change. The second thing that we're going to change is we're actually going to replace these nasty old batteries and actually put a rechargeable battery in here, which is kind of a big deal when you think about it for these old Game Boys. And that's actually going to be USB-C rechargeable as well. So it will recharge via USB-C rather than just through, whatever you want to do it through. The third mod that we're going to do is we're actually going to replace the front buttons here and here with metal ones. And then the final mod that we're going to do is we're going to replace the entire case with a machined aluminium case, which you can see here. This is black anodized aluminium Boxy pixel case. There's some very intricate milling gone on to this piece of aluminium on the inside. I'm pretty impressed with it. So there we go. So that's what we're going to do today. And then the final thing we're going to do is we're actually going to put a new front screen on here that's going to be glass rather than the old plastic ones. And then I should have a working Game Boy Advance in a full metal housing. So there we go. Let's catch up with chat. Langalandi says, "Talk like I can't stay, but I had to share some love." Thank you, man. Thank you for being here. I genuinely appreciate that. Honestly, not the worst I've seen from what I've worked on. Prilisek, if you have done these mods before, I have not. I'm going to preface this by saying I have never done this, and I have no real clue on what I'm doing. I'm literally going to be following a guide, and I will share that guide with you. Actually, let me share the guide I'm going to be following. Let me put that in chat. And while I'm doing that, let me update the build command as well, so that you guys can actually see what I'm doing, and get that link back for anyone else who joins. Okay, there we go. Build command updated. You can try that again now, depleted Vespine, or in a few minutes, and it will work. Vinan says, "How much was the case?" So, well, this was free because I've had it for as long as I can remember. I don't know how old I was when I got this, but I was, whenever it came out was probably when I got it. This I got just about 2 weeks ago, and I think this was $100-ish, something like that. For all of the other parts in total, it was about $200, I think, including shipping and taxes and everything else. But I spent about $200 on the parts. But it should have something really, really, really robust at the end of it. Just so the VOD for the Fat Boy, Living Mine 2, so fun to mod. I've got so many plans for that, Jax. So many plans for that. Hot Trout says, "What do I think of the thermal?" So the biggest compliment I can pay a board is that it stays on my desk after I built it and it doesn't get moved away. The last board that got the accolade was the FLX Virgo. This board is the latest one. This is so nice to type on. Like, if this was a 65% wing keyless board, I'd be in heaven. This is like a 9.9 out of 10. It's so nice. I thoroughly recommend the thermal. It's a genuinely nice board. Got to order a carbon fiber top plate. Yeah, man, I ordered pretty much all of the plate files for in carbon fiber for the Fat Boy. Most of Game Boy Advance modding is just looking where to wire things up. Yeah, I have the guide. I've had a look at it. Like, I'm not too fussed for the soldering. That looks pretty good, but putting it in the right place might be the issue. So, Prilisek, I may lean on you for some advice as we go through this build. So let's have a look at the components. So we've looked at the Game Boy, we've looked at the metal case that we're going to be putting it into, which is really nice. We have got some metal buttons as well. These are going to go on the inside of the case here, and these are machined as well. So this is the aluminium D-pad, the directional pad. It's got a really nice soft finish. And then we have the two buttons for A and B. And they're just nicely done in silver. I did buy some replacement plastic bump-ons for the rear ones. These for the rear covers. These are a little bit scuffed in places, a little bit scratched, and they're just old and probably a bit dirty. So I did buy some whole button pack that we can use for this, but we're only going to reuse the shoulder buttons from this, so we're not going to use many other parts out of that. We also have the battery that Boxy Pixels provides. 2000 milliamp hour. We have the custom charging loop that's via USB-C, which we do need to solder in. We have a diode, which we'll need for part of the build later on. I actually have two of these. I got two glass screens just in case I mess up, so I got a glass screen here. We have two 3D printed parts. This holds the battery and the battery charging port, and this holds the screen in place on the rear. I didn't print those, they came with the kit. And then this little thing, this is the IPS screen, but how cute is this little box? It's plastic, but this box is super duper cute. And this has all of the parts we'll need for that, including a new board, cables, the screen itself, another glass screen, some foam, all sorts of other bits and pieces as well. So we'll see how that goes. And then we needed 2 wires as well, so I just stripped some wires down earlier on, which should be right and should be long enough. So that is the build, guys. As well as that, there is also some screws that hold the case together. 2 little packs of screws. We'll get to them whenever we get to them. Wave Depth says, this makes me want to buy an aftermarket Game Boy just to do this mod. Looks clean. Well, let's see if I mess this up. Let's see how hard this is, because I have got no real experience in modding Game Boy Advances. Like the furthest my console modding experience goes, other than ripping and burning CDs and installing software, is the old mod chips on the PlayStation 1 and soldering those into position. So this is kind of like the first thing I've done in recent memory that comes even close to anything. So we'll see. That's pretty neat. Nice. Chronoman says, what are you changing? We're going to change the case to a metal case. We're going to change the glass front screen. We're going to change the panel inside to an IPS backlit panel. We're going to change the buttons here to metal. We're going to change the other buttons to some new ones just because these ones are old. We're going to install a USB-C and internal battery, so you'll charge it via an internal battery. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yes. The metal case is already anodized. It's anodized black, so this is already anodized. As you can see, this is a nice black color, and it is metal. So I'm not going to anodize this. You can still see some slight anodizing lines in here, but it's genuinely really nice. I'm a big fan of it. So yeah. How much are the parts? About $200. About $200. Okay, so let's crack on. So if you guys do !build, you'll be able to see the guide that I'm following. I shared the link earlier on as well in chat. But let's see what we need to do. I think the first step is going to be to take the case apart. I've already tested that this Game Boy works. It does. I'm comfortable with it all working. But I think the first job is to take the case apart. Now for that, I need to bust out my old screwdriver set because I need a tri-wing screwdriver, which means it's like a Phillips screwdriver, but instead of having 4 points on it and a cross, it only has 3. So that's what we're going to use today. This is a tri-point screwdriver. And we just need to take out these screws. Nintendo loves their tri-wing. Yes, indeed they do. So if I mess this up, guys, this is only my personal childhood favorite games console of all time that I spent hundreds of hours playing. It's no big deal, right? I'll be genuinely upset if I damage this. Have to run, but watch the video. Thank you very much, man. Nintendo and McDonald's love the tri-wing. Why do McDonald's like the tri-wing? How old am I, Jay? Wave Depth, how old would you say I am? Let me flip over to the front-facing camera so you can see me a little bit bigger. How old would you say this young face is? Chio is asking for a ban. Mr. Petrov is asking for a ban. Mr. P, I know how old you are. Wave Depth, you take home the bacon today. Keep on me as well. I'm actually 35. I'm 36 in the new year. This screw does not want to come out. Wait, it's unscrewed, but it does not want to come out. I think there's just a load of grime holding it in. There we go. Right, let's flip back over to the other screen. 23, Chronoman says. Yeah. You say that after you've heard my age. Yeah. Okay, so we've taken out most of the screws. We've got... Oh, a very nice Nix Clicks. Thank you very much for the tier 1 sub. 2 months of subs now. Major Sot says, Yo Jay, I just got my 3 Boba Tea desk mats. They do be looking good. Thanks, man. I'm glad you got them safe and sound. All of the Boba Tea mats, all of the finale mats, pretty much everything else has shipped in the past week or so. I shipped 1,000 parcels last week. Well, just over. It was like 1,096 parcels or something, which took me hours and hours and hours. And this week we're going to send about 400, I think. Okay, so we're all done with the tri-wing, but there is one Phillips screw because Nintendo like to do things just a little bit weird. So we're just going to remove that now. Okay, so back to the guide. I've removed the screws. Let's see what the next move is. Okay, so there's the top case, or the bottom case, sorry. The next thing we need to do is remove this piece here, it would appear. This is supposed to have 4 screws in, mine only has 2, so I assume at some point that's a tri-wing. Yes, that is. Is that a tri-wing? Oh, it's Phillips again, that's why. So I would assume it's been taken apart at some point in its life. I don't recall that. Hey Unicorn, thanks for joining, man. And we're going to take out this metal piece and just pop it to one side. And I think that's all we need to do with this part. I think that's all we need to do with it. I don't think we need to do anything else with that. Where did I get this desk? This desk is actually just an IKEA desk. It's nothing special. So the desk, the wood that you can see underneath is just an IKEA desk. It was like £50 and then just some standard IKEA drawers at the side. It's just the desk for my office and my workshop. Okay. So next job is remove the plastic power switch piece. It can be removed just by pulling up. So here's the plastic power switch piece. I'll show you guys that a little bit close up. And apparently all we need to do is pull that up and it will remove. Oh no, lost the shoulder button. Let's put that back in place. Alright, it's out now. We'll figure out that in a second. Okay, switch out. Remove the left and right triggers. So we've removed the left one. And we've removed the right one. Just going to put them there. Okay. These side bits have come off anyway, so that's fine. The next job is to pry up the 2 handles on either side of the ribbon cable, holding the ribbon in place. Now that's done, we can pull up to release the ribbon. There we go. Where did you get the desk mat? The desk mat is actually from the key set that I ran with Novel Keys a while back. That was GMK Midnight Rainbow, and this is the Constellation desk mat that was designed for that set. Does Tonight Build come as a kit or is it a rebuild? So the original Game Boy is my old one from childhood, Unicorn. The kit is kind of different parts from different places. So I got the screen from Funny Play, and I got the case and all of the 3D printed parts, the battery and the screen, the battery and the glass, and the buttons and the metal buttons. They all came from Boxy Pixel Direct. And if you go on their website, it kind of gives you a list of everything you need to buy. Okay, so now that's done, and we've removed the cable. We need to remove 2 fasteners holding the PCB with a small Phillips screwdriver. Lift up to remove the electronics. Be careful with the speaker wires to try not to break the solder joints. Okay. So there's just 2 screws holding this in place. That's one. And then two on the other side. Okay, and then lift up to remove the electronics. Okay. Oh, hang on, wait a second. It says there's two screws holding this together. There's actually three. Jay actually did it. Noxygen, what did I do, man? What did I do? Stream non-keyboard content on a keyboard channel? Okay, there we go. So that is the main board taken out, which is looking pretty good. That looks all right. Cool. We're going to need these later on. These are the membranes that... Focus camera, please. These are the membranes that effectively allow you to press the switches. So we're going to need those later on. Now we're not going to need that. We've also got the two front switches. And we do need to save the light pipe that allows you to see the start button, power button. Okay, and we have those two there as well. Excellent. Which we don't need. We don't need those buttons. I don't know why I'm keeping them. They can go. Okay, next is to remove the battery terminals below. Interesting. So it looks like there are battery terminals just here that I need to remove. So I need to take off this and this one as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to heat up the pads on this side and then push them through and just give them a wiggle until they're free, basically. So time to get some soldering iron out. You actually went through the Gameboy stuff I showed you. I know, man. I know, right? How do you like the thermal? I'm yet to see your build VOD. It's really, really, really nice. Like, I genuinely really like the thermal. It's one of the nicest boards I've built this year. Like, the more I use it, the more I enjoy that board. Like, genuinely, the more I use it, the more I love it. Still sad you didn't go with the full brass one. They didn't have the full brass case in when I ordered this, so otherwise I would have done. Let me grab some tweezers. I don't have any tweezers to hand. Hopefully the Morgri switch pullers will do. And Mr. Petrov, if you're watching, this is the steel ends to these switch pullers. So there we go. Right, okay. Let's see if we can get this these removed. Okay, the solder's not melting yet. Okay, that's getting really, really hot. Let's just give it a minute to cool down. We'll try again. There's a couple of ways I can approach this. I'm going to try and just push the components out once the solder's melted. But there is a lot of solder on here, so it's not melting particularly well. Okay, we'll try that again in a second. The SHP is not fit for purpose. No idea why they even sell it. $60 CAD to order the friggin' steel tips. Yeah. Well, sorry, man. Sorry. It's just one of those things. I haven't tried the SHP ones. No, I've only tried the metal ones. And Mr. Petrov says the SHP ones suck. So I'm probably not going to use those. The desk mat, I bought and paid for it as part of the group buy for Midnight Rainbow, Joe. Someone had to be the guinea pig. He showed a video today. Who showed a video? Mr. Petrov? I don't want to know what type of video Mr. Petrov's been showing. Okay, okay. I think I've got a way of getting this one off. There we go. That's the one out. Man, that was tough. Let's see if we can get this one out as well. Nearly. Almost out. I know I'm not doing this professionally, but hey. I should have just used the desoldering gun earlier on and done this before the stream. That would have been smarter. Okay. Nope, not having it. And I've just broken my soldering iron case. Oh dear. This is not going so well, guys. This is not going so well at all. Okay, my soldering iron's still working, but let me just clean up some of this solder. There we go. I know you're doing this Game Boy rebuild today, but can I ask you a key-related question? Always, man. Always. Tommy Hong, thank you very much for joining. It is really cool. It's really cool. But yeah, wave depth. Ask away, man. Any question is good on this stream. I'm not going to tell you not to ask a question. Okay, let's give this one a little bit more oomph this time. It would help if I actually had hold of it. Trying to find a good contact point for this is not easy. Let's turn the temperature up. Okay. I think it's actually almost out. Try something that might just get hold of it a little bit better. Let's use the good come on. Okay, I don't want to hold it any longer than that. Let's just cut this flush. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine if we just cut this flush. I don't want to risk damaging any of the components. And there we go. That is that part removed. Awesome. Okay, we can put the soldering iron away for a short while, because I don't need to solder again for a little bit. I was wondering if you know the difference between grades of Cristo 129. One of my favourite sounding builds was Minterly's Satisfaction 75 built with alpacas lubed with Cristo 129. I didn't want to buy some 129 off Amazon if like 205 there's grade. No, as far as I know, there is no grades with Cristo, and Geo confirms it, yeah. The nuclear option, Chris Bezic says. Yeah, well, I don't need them later on. It's fine. Yeah, so hey, it's fine. Like, it's trimmed, it's cut flush. It looks neat enough on the bottom as well. So I'm happy with that. Like, it's cool enough. It'll do. If push really comes to shove, I can always just resolder it and retap it and get it working again later. Okay, so let's see what the next step is. PCB preparation. Well, I'm going to come back and clean all the contacts later on with some isopropyl, so that's fine. Clean the power switch. Okay, that's fine. Let's assume that's done. Verify the aluminium shell does not have any blemishes. Yes, I'm pretty comfortable in this aluminium shell. Let's see what's next. Metal buttons. Drop in the metal buttons. Okay. Okay, that one doesn't go in there. Let's go in this side. Now, I may need to take this apart again and lube these, because I've heard that sometimes these metal buttons specifically do need a little bit of lube every now and again. Okay, that's the metal buttons in place. Now we need to drop in the silicone conductive bits. And we're just going to drop this in place like so. That's going to sit there. And then this one is going to sit just there like so. Okay, now I do need to prop this up a little bit just so I don't press those buttons. So I'm just going to rest it on those for now. Yeah, I'll take it apart and reload it. Electrocapacitive. Yeah, rubber domes. Brian, is what we're using today. These are rubber domes. Okay, drop in the clear diffuser. So we need to drop in the diffuser. And we need to make sure we get the orientation on this one just right. There we go. So that's the diffuser installed. Okay, and I think we can pop this to one side for now, because the next job appears to be fixing the matrix together. So let's take a look at that. Okay. Prepare to connect the LCD to the orange flex cable. So here is the orange flex cable. There's 3 wires here that I do need later on, so I'll pop them to one side. A warning to test the kit before I use it. I'm not going to do that. Okay. Okay, so we want to have this way around, and the LCD is actually going to clip into this little port just here. That's actually a port, not a chip. Focus camera, please. There we go. So the LCD is actually going to clip into there. So let's take the LCD. And this is the brand new LCD, still with the cover on. And then we're just going to connect those two together. We would do if they would click together. There we go. Okay. Now we can remove. Now we can remove the front surface of the screen. I'm tempted not to do this until I've tested how it all goes together. So let's just practice installing this for a second before I let's practice installing this for a second before I actually do it. Let's just see how it goes. Okay. So we want to drop that in there like so. And push it up against the top, and then that bit bends up and over. Okay, I've got you. I see how that goes. Okay. Putting testing the kit after you remove the battery contacts. Haha. By the way, Jay, check which side of the ribbon you need to put into the motherboard. There's different pins depending on which revision you need. Yes. So I need to put the larger one in because it's going to go into this port here. So that's the larger one as far as I'm aware. And that's just going to bend back round onto there like so. It needs to go that way. Okay. What I'm really worried about is not putting the glass screen in when I've already put the LCD in. That's kind of a worry for me. I'm not too worried about the buttons. We can put them back in a minute. Whoops. This is why I rarely do this type of build. Because I'm clumsy as anything when it comes to the delicate stuff. Okay, so let's just test this again. Because I think when I'm looking at it from the underside, it looks like it wants to... I assume I'm going to have like a little bit of movement on this once I install it anyway. Okay, I'm comfortable. Let's take off the cover. Right, let's zoom in for this because I know you folks like this. You folks like to see these covers being peeled off. There we go. Okay, let's get these buttons back in. Don't sneeze, and remember that spit can stay on the surface for years, still leaving DNA. Nice. Good to know, Kakan. I don't want to know how you know that, but it's good that you do know it, I guess. Okay, so now we've done that, what's the next step? Add the 3D printed L-shaped spacer as shown in the below. It fills the space to the left and the bottom of the LCD screen. Okay. There we go. That's that installed. Add a soft foam to the back of the LCD. Well, we have that here. I feel like that should have already been installed, to be honest. Maybe that's too much. Prilosec, is that the whole piece I'm supposed to put in the back there? It feels like it might be. But it kind of suggests that I don't put it over the top of the ribbon cable. Perhaps I do. Perhaps I put it over the top of the ribbon cable. Okay. It definitely fits better the other way around. Okay, that's the foam in place. Okay, and now we can put this to one side for the brief moment, because now comes some more soldering work, as far as I can tell. And I'm sorry, guys, if you find this boring. I know I appreciate that this is not usual Top Clack content, but hey, I like to try things different every now and again. Whew. Nervous. Okay. So the next thing we need to do is on this side of this particular board and down in this area here, we are going to join a wire to the PCB. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to join a wire right to that tiny, tiny point just there, just above the start text. Sook's having breaking the stream up. What do you mean the stream is broken up? I don't know what you mean. Right, let's get some solder and let's get a tiny blob on this bad boy. Okay. Oh, commercials. Apologies, Kakan, if you've got those. There is a solution to that, though. Drop a sub and you shouldn't end up with them. In fact, actually, I don't know. Do subs still get them? Okay. Pain to get rid of a problem. Hey. It's a refreshing that it's not just a board with switches but had different components. I thought that might be why you were here, Anakin, because it was something a little bit different. But yeah. The pads are a little delicate. I usually solder around 330, but we can go a touch lower. Okay. Then we need the first of our wires. So now we've got a dab of solder on the correct spot, which I think is the correct spot. Yes. We're now just going to press the wire into that solder as we heat it up. Okay, that's that wire soldered on. Let's just check that it's nice and robust. Don't want it to come loose. Okay, picks up the weight of it. That's fine. Okay. So you can see we have soldered the wire into that particular spot just there. Relatively neat for me. I'm not the best soldering expert. I don't have any Kapton tips. I'm going to have to come back and do that later on. Okay, prepare the flex cable. Okay, so we've now covered the flex cable up, but we actually need to solder onto it. Oh gosh, this bit I am not looking forward to. Okay, so we need to add a tiny blob of solder to 3 of its points. So you can see these points here. Ooh, very nice. Thank you very much, Kakan. Hopefully it did work. I was joking, you didn't have to do that, dude. There's 4 spots there. The 3 towards this end, the 3 towards this side, those are the ones we're going to put a blob of solder on. So, I'm just going to bring my little makeshift stands a little bit closer so I can see what I'm doing. This part is not bad. I'll take your word for it, dude. I'll take your word for it. I got a commercial break at that exact moment. Trade Pop, it's a new Game Boy Advance screen, as well as moving it into an aluminium housing, an internal battery, and a whole raft of other mods as well. So there we go. Okay, so we've added solder to those 3 points. Solder the wire from TP2, previously soldered to the PCB, to the SEL. Okay, so now what I need to do is solder this wire to one of these 3 points. Okay, I think I can do this. He says, not managing it at all. Hold on. This is where I need a pair of helping hands or something similar, but I just don't have them. Oh, very nice. Thank you very much, whoever that was. There we go. Moving Mad, don't cut the white wire. Thank you very much for that 6 months of subs, 6 month streak. Thank you. There we go. The wire is now soldered to both. There we go. Excellent. Whew. Okay. 2 thin wires now are needed. Attach one wire to the location labeled L on the orange flux cable and attach another wire labeled R. So that's the last 2 points. So let's do those now. Okay, that's those wires soldered on. I would lift up the assembly and show you, but like this is really fine soldering stuff, so I don't want to do that and then break something. I have to resolder it. But trust me, it looks okay. Platform needs revenue or we lose it and streamers make less money. It's true. It's true. Ads are a terrible necessity on Twitch at the moment. PCB is now ready to flip over. Before doing so, note that the orange flex cable has 2 possible ways to connect. Option 1 is the bottom and option 2 is at the top. Well, we know mine is at the top. That's a known quantity. So we're good on that front. Oh, we need to put the foam back in. Where does it show the foam on here? And it doesn't. It shows it without foam in place. Great. Okay. Okay, I think we're good though. I think we are good. First thing I'm going to do is just tuck these couple of wires just up out of the way because I know we'll need them shortly. Just trying to be as gentle as I can with them. Need to pop this light pipe back into position. Make sure all the switches are in place. Nice. Make sure all of these pieces are in place as well. There we go. Add in the foam. And then we're going to flip this piece over. There we go. Just going to make sure we've got the 2 wires coming out. I'm just going to try and tuck this last wire underneath. I'm really conscious of touching the screen on the other side, so I'm trying not to. Okay, I think we're good there. carefully connect the flex cable is the next step. So let's see if we can... I want to try and pin this all together without touching the screen. I just want to try and tuck this cable out of the way. There we go. And we're going to push the ribbon cable into the PCB. Or at least I'm going to try. I might need to actually do this slightly differently. I'm tempted to actually fold this over after I've connected the ribbon cable. Let's try that because I just can't get the angle right to do it. So okay, that's the ribbon cable reconnected. Let's now lay everything as it needs to be and then flip it over. There we go. That's looking okay. Just going to pull these two cables around here. Nice. Okay, let's see how that's looking. Now we can fasten the PCB into place. And we have 3 screws for that. Two screws for that even. Oh man. Did you get a glass screen protector? I did, yes. You have those salted caramel Twix up there, right? I don't have any more of them, but I did have some, yes. They have all been given away to people who bought JO2s. Okay. These there we go. These are magnetic. That makes it a little bit easier. There we go. Let's just screw this down. I'm just going to screw this in. In fact, actually, I probably need to use the new screws of this. Just realizing this because I think they're a different size what I need to use now. So they're the case ones, I believe. Okay. See, I don't want to put the Game Boy down now. But I have to somehow open the bag and get the screws out. Just with one hand. Okay, there we go. Let's see if these will fit. Are these magnetic as well? Would be a big help if they are. No. And that's a tight gap. There we go. Okay, that's one in place. Now, trying to gently hold everything together as I come across to the other side. Okay, tighten these up a bit. Okay. Looking good. Okay, so the LCD has moved a little, so we need to understand why that's the case and move it back a little bit. But now I have this screwed in. As long as I don't completely unscrew, I think we're okay. Does it work with Via? Yeah, man. Absolutely. Okay. And whilst this is like this, I'm just going to check the press on the buttons. Okay, so those work. Okay, yeah, they feel alright. Okay, so the LCD is just slightly out of position. I'm just going to try and nudge it over. So I'll show you guys actually. So the LCD is just slightly out of position. You can see a white line here. It just needs to go down to that side just ever so slightly. It feels like it's the 3D printed part that's showing actually. Yes, it's actually the white 3D printed piece that I put in there that's showing. I'm not sure how much that's going to annoy me. But short of painting it black or printing one of my own, I'm not sure what I can do. I think we'll have to go with it as it is for now, and then I'll look at printing my own in the near future. Okay, let's tighten these screws up. You don't think it'll show the glass on, but I don't know. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Let's just assume that that's right. And let me know, guys, what you think to the music today, because like this isn't too bad, I don't think, but it's not the same as what we usually use. Okay, soldering the battery. Solder the wire coming from the L location. I don't know which wire is which. I should have labeled the wires. Haha. Okay. The shortest wire should be the one. If they're both coming through the same routing, the shortest wire should be the one that's soldered to the lowest point, right? That would be the logical guess. Yeah, it won't show. It's like getting colored switches. You can switch them later. Your brightness controls might be flips at worst. Okay, cool. Okay, I'm just going to guess that the shortest wire is the one that is soldered to the lowest point, because I'm pretty sure that these are both the same length. So let's see which one turns out to be the shortest. Okay, so that one is the shortest. So that should be the furthest away. Let me just check the labels and see which one should be the furthest away. Okay, and on the picture I can't see. Great. Let's see if we can zoom in on this. R looks like it's the closest one to the top, and L looks like it's the furthest one away. Okay. Okay, so L is the furthest one away. Okay. Okay, whew. Right, okay. Now which way do we need to solder? So L is the furthest one away. And we need to solder that. So we need to solder this wire to a point just in here. So there's a point just up here, labeled SW2, and that's what we're going to solder it to. And that already has solder on, so we should be okay. A Pcb, yeah, they're pretty cool, man. They're pretty cool bits of kit. I would kind of like one of those as well. Okay. Not quite. Okay, so that's that one soldered into place. Okay. And then the next one, we have to solder to the other side, which should be nice and easy as well. Okay, and then we just need to avoid the screw holes in the case. So we're going to make sure that the wires don't run through either of these gold contact points. And that's all we should need the soldering iron for a minute. Okay. Okay, now it's time to assemble the power board. Good news. Good news, everybody. Which means that this is where we're going to start to install our custom soldering station. Not soldering station, custom charging station. Okay. So this is kind of, we've got like breakable parts that you're supposed to break out as you put this in. Might just need to clean these out with a screwdriver though. Just like a breakable tab. There we go. Okay. Now that should slide all the way through. There we go. Excellent. Okay, so this is going to be the USB-C charging port. That all fits in there nicely, but we do need to solder some wires to it. Okay, great. I forgot the start and select buttons. Oh no. Accept keycaps, don't follow it. J. Yeah. J. I forgot these. Okay, we're just going to build it and then. Oh no! Do you know what? We'll do it now. We'll do it now. We'll take these back out and we'll put them in now. We're going to have to. I can't not. I can't not do that. But such is life. You live and learn, folks. If we just made things easy for ourselves, life would be boring. Don't think it matters which way around I put this in. I think it went that way. Where's the top case? Let me just double check. Nope, it went the other way. It went the other way. Okay, I think that's good. Okay, we're getting to be a pro at taking this apart and putting it back together now. There we go. Okay, how does that look? Same as it did before. Okay, cool. So we have all of the buttons in place. They all feel nice. They are going to need lubing at some point, Joe. You can call me whatever you like. Archetype. Anything you like is fine. Oof, says Prilasek. Yeah, we got it sorted. We got it sorted. Okay. Right. Okay, next job is to put this to one side for a minute. Interesting how this is all kind of built in on the old one. It's like all the foam is built in and everything else. But yeah, we don't need that anymore. Oh, it all just fell out. We don't need that anymore. Right, what we need to do now is do some more soldering on this. So let's see what we need to do. First of all, we need to solder in the diode. So let's take this out. And we're just going to bend that into place for a moment. And then we're just going to solder this into place. And then we'll cut it nice and flush. His real name is Jay-Z though. Oh, actually my full name is Jonathan, but nobody calls me that. Like my mother was the last person around to call me that, and obviously sadly she's not been around for some time now. So, yeah, that is not something I get called anymore. Okay, there we go. That's solder part 1 done. And we're just going to cut this nice and flush on the back. Okay. And then the next solder part we need to do is a black wire into here. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to add some solder onto the top side of that wire because it doesn't look particularly sturdy. If I could get in with the solder on. There we go. Okay, so that's the wires installed, which means we can now actually install this back into, or it would do if I move the wires to the right positions. We can install this back into here. He says. Okay. There we go. Okay, and now we need to connect the wire, the red wire, to the diode. So I'm just going to trim that leg a little bit. And then I'm just going to tin the edge of the diode leg with a little bit of solder. And then we'll do the same with the wire. Okay. I'm just going to use this as a bit of a soldering mat for a second. There we go. And then we're just going to join these two together. just like so. And there we go. That is the battery component ready to solder into the board, I think. Okay, so now we need to solder on the battery. And to do that, this looks fairly simple actually. I hope you guys are enjoying this. Let me know if you're not. Let me know if you're not enjoying this. Because like, if this is not the kind of content you want on Top Clack, I won't do it again. Okay, cool. Right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some solder into the points that we need to solder the red and black wires to. And then once we've got some solder on there, I'm just going to heat those up again and touch these wires to it, and they should solder in nicely. There we go, that's one wire in. And two wire in. Okay, so that should be our entire battery component all ready to go. Maybe if you bridge the battery, it could become a bit more exciting. Well, it's not supposed to be exciting. Like, it's a Gameboy build. It's supposed to be interesting. Okay, so now we can put this inside the Gameboy. And we can screw that in place. And then once it's in place, we can then solder it to the Gameboy itself. Okay. How to hit the front page of Twitch with one simple trick. Hey man, I do not do this to be on the front page of Twitch. That is the last reason I stream. I stream because I find it cathartic and because I'd like to think that some people might enjoy what I have to share with them. Okay, and then now what we need to do is just tin these 2 points again and then connect everything up. Okay, red to the top and then black to the bottom. Okay, last bit of soldering then. He says until there's some more soldering. I thought you should because you like to write on the whiteboard. Absolutely, man. I don't know what you're on about. I do have a whiteboard in the warehouse that I write all over every day. It's how I keep track of projects. It's how I keep track of most of my life, to be honest with you. Okay, then we're just going to attach the red wire. Okay, there we go. And now we're going to solder where the black wire should be. And then we're just going to drop the black wire into the solder there. No, did not like that. Okay, there we go. Okay, that will do. Well, it's keeping 40 people entertained. That's the good news. Okay, right. Now that's done. The diode and wires should all fit in this area donated in red. Okay, yeah, they do. Yeah, that's all fine. Yep. Okay. Now we need to install the battery, which basically means it just needs to sit just there. Okay. add a thin piece of foam to the back of the battery to prevent rattling. I don't think I have another thin bit of foam. I don't think they gave me one. So, I don't know what this is for. Oh, that might have been the foam for the back of the LCD, actually. Oh well, we've used some other. Let's see if I've got some foam or something similar we can use. I think this will be okay. This is that type of compressible foam that's 4 or 5 millimeters thick, but as soon as you squish it, you can completely compress it. But I think that'll be okay. Okay, test the unit powers on and the dimming function works by holding the select button and using the shoulder trigger buttons. Okay, do you guys want to see this work again? Okay, bets on if it works or not. Bets on if this works or not. Look at that. That looks awesome. Yeah. Okay, and then we can test it by holding the select button and using the shoulder trigger buttons, which we don't actually have installed yet, but oh, look how bright that goes. That's super cool. Awesome. Okay. Oh, there is a bit of... It's not going to show up. There's a tiny bit of light bleed just on the screen here. I'm not quite sure what's causing that. It looks like something's pressing it from behind. Let's see if we can fix that. Let's see if that's something we can fix. Zree's here as well. Holy shit, I didn't know you stream today. I stream whenever I feel like it. It shows up, yeah. I might try and fix that issue later on, actually. I just kind of want to get the build done and make sure it works. Okay. So, I was going to use the new triggers, actually. Let's use the new triggers. Oh, and actually, let's change the start switch button, actually, as well. Just so it all matches. Because why not? There we go. And then we just need the trigger buttons. We don't need any of that. It might be the foam. You could insulate with the Captain tape behind the screen. Yeah, if it becomes a problem, they did give me some foam that I didn't use. I used the thicker stuff. So if it becomes a problem and it's really bad, I can take it out and I can use this piece of foam that they gave me, which is 3M foam, which should kind of hold everything together. So I can use that instead because that's cut to the size of the screen, actually. So I should have used that instead of the foam that I did. But hey, it's all good. I can change that later on if I need to. I need to take it apart and lube the buttons anyway, so we can always do that later on. Right, okay, so trigger installation. Sliding the metal piece down in the channel shown. Hold on. That's the left. Okay, that looks to be in the right position. Let's add the right hand one in. Okay, that looks good. This is the first Gameboy mode I've done, yeah. I'm used to modifying other things and soldering everything, but okay. Power switch install, we've done that. Secure the sheet to the metal housing. Okay, so now we need to take the rear metal housing and we need to secure this sheet to it. And it said to use the new screws. Should try a. Have you modded a toaster before? I've fixed toasters before. I've taken them apart before and fixed them. In fact, I used to have a really old toaster called a Sunbeam, which are kind of famous because they have like a really unique method of detecting when the toasting is done. That was kind of like a fun thing to play around with at one point. Okay, I can't quite line this up with the hole. There we go. That should go in now. Okay. Should try Gameboy SP next. It's pretty fun, and since the glass is laminated onto the display, less work. Nice. Okay. Carefully bring the rear housing into position. You may have to wiggle a little using fasteners in the Ziploc bag. Install 4 M2 by 6mm long fasteners. Okay. Okay, it doesn't want to close. Yeah, okay, that doesn't feel quite right there. Okay. Just want to try and arrange the wires a little bit better underneath the battery, see if I can get the battery sitting a little bit more flush. Okay, that feels like it's going to go together a little bit better. See if we can get this to screw together now. Okay, so it doesn't really want to go together very well, but I'm just going to use a slightly larger screwdriver. Okay. And last one. Okay, this screw here is the only one that's not seating very well, so I'm just going to take it out and try again. Try and pop a different screw in. Okay, there we go. So now the last thing I need to do is pop the glass screen on. But I have got some slight marks on the screen here, so I'm just going to try and clean those off with my jumper a little bit. Okay. Now we can put the glass screen in place. And typically the 3M tape in the middle of this does not want to come off. There we go. Just going to try and line this up nice and gently now. And there we go, guys. Game Boy Advance. With fingerprints on the screen because of the way I pressed it in. Let's just give that a clean. You didn't see that. I'm just putting more smudges on it now. Okay, we'll clean that with isopropyl alcohol afterwards. But there we go, guys. Game Boy Advance with the new screen in place. Look how good that looks. That's so cool. There's just this little white dot down here that I need to fix. That's so cool. Buttons all feel good. Power is lighting up. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it is lighting up. Awesome. Let's try putting a game in. I've only brought a couple of games with me. I do have loads of these at home. Let's see what I've got. Namco Museum and Power Rangers Dino Thunder. There you go. I just grabbed the first two games that were on the thing. I don't even remember owning that. Let's and there we go, guys. All working. Look how cool that is. This feels so hefty. White dots on the screen. Like, it's not too bad when it's dark, but you can just see it just there. There's something pressing it from the back. So I do have multiple screens. I got two. So if I do break this one or it's damaged, I can fix it later. But I need to take it apart anyway and lube these because these are metal buttons. And these are going to grind a little bit. I can already tell. So I need to lube those a little bit. So yeah, didn't even start with Pokemon. I don't have Pokemon. It's one game I don't have, but we can play him as Pac-Man. Okay. Oh no, some of the buttons aren't working. Okay, so we definitely need to look at that because some of these buttons aren't working. I tested them before and it was working just fine. Rip. Okay, that's an easy fix. That's just an alignment thing, I think. That's maybe why they feel a bit squishy. But we can fix that. Hold on. Now we know how it all goes together. I'm feeling much more confident with it. Let's fix these buttons. Let's tidy up first. I don't need all of this crap I've got on the desk now. In before, it just didn't work beforehand anyway. No, I tested it fully. Curious to know how long the battery lasts. So apparently you can get like a good few hours out of it, and it recharges via USB-C, and everyone has a USB-C charger these days. Hard to fit the game out. Yeah, battery bank. Yeah, also I've even seen battery banks that you can put in through the game cartridge slot to keep you going whenever you need to. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can work out why those buttons weren't working. Okay, so I can see why the directional pad wasn't working, because it wasn't aligned correctly. There we go. And A and B looks like it's lined correctly already. So we should just be able to screw that back down. Let's give that a test again. Okay. Let's give that one more try. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's see if this works a bit better. There we go. All working. I haven't played Pac-Man in so long, I can't remember half the patterns. There we go. All working. I'm happy with that. I'm going to call that a win. There we go. Let's get the rear all put back together now. Take the game out. Start switch back in. And then let's get the shoulder buttons back in. Okay, and then the case again can go back on. What's my favorite screwdriver type? Torx by far. Torx is so fun. that you can do some really cool stuff with torques. Torques is amazing. I'm not a fan of flathead or Phillips though. Flathead actually kind of looks nice on some old stuff because it kind of fits the vintage appeal. But Kikan, I don't think you were really asking because you were interested. Okay, one final check. That's so cool. This feels so hefty as well. Like, this feels so heavy now. Like, it feels like it weighs a ton. I'm so happy with this. Like, really, really happy with it. Like, this is quite possibly the coolest thing I've built in months. Man, I'm so happy about this. Like, now I need to get some ROMs and a certain type of card for this. Oh, this just brings me back, right? Like, this is just so cool. I think this is the first time I've ever played a game on Twitch. Like, genuinely, I think it's the first time I've played a game on Twitch. Ah, I got caught. There we go. There we go. Okay, cool. There we go. We're done. But there you go, guys. That is the Boxy Pixel Game Boy Advance build with custom USB-C charging. How neat does that look? Internal battery, metal buttons. I wish that these shoulder buttons were metal. That's the only thing I'd change. But these feel and look great. Wish these could be metal too. That'd be really cool. Boots it up. I just did. There you go. Look how nice and cool and bright that screen is. And we can dim it down as well. We can. So that's what the screen used to look like. Like, that's what it looks like now on full brightness. Okay. No, it's not dimming. No, it's not dimming. Don't know what's going on now. Hold on. Why aren't you dimming? Oh, there you go. There you go. That's brightness. Dim. It's kind of like, it doesn't make much difference on that, but there you go. Might be some shorting. Maybe. It is dimming, like, it's just not showing on the camera. Like, I can see it here in real life, but I don't think you guys can see it on the screen. I just think the way the camera picks this up is a little bit different. It just sees a light screen, so it picks it up. But yeah, it's just so cool. Pole position, man. I forgot all these games were on here. Gallagher, yeah. I'm so happy with this. So happy with it. Okay. Time to turn it off, and I can now put this on charge just through using a USB-C cable. And there we go. And you can tell it's charging because it lights up red, which is awesome. We'll leave that there. See how it goes. The other thing as well I do have for this is I also have my old wireless adapter. I don't know if you guys ever use these, but these some games you could use through the Wi-Fi. So I do have a wireless adapter, and I'm really happy to see that it still works because it's still got the clips, the connectors for that on this. So yeah, really happy that's still going to work. But okay, guys, that is the build. That is the Boxy Pixel Game Boy Advance. Can I call this super clean now? You can, yeah. I'm really happy with that. Like, it's just really a nice thing to have and a nice thing to do. And it was nowhere near as stressful as I thought it was going to be as a build. So thank you guys for joining me. I don't know if I'm going to put this on YouTube or not, considering we only had 30 odd viewers during the whole stream. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for being with me. And I'll see you for some keyboard related content the same time tomorrow night, because tomorrow I'm going to be building a production JO2 limited edition. So I'll be back tomorrow at 10 PM UK time to build a JO2 limited edition. you'd appreciate on YouTube, so you can follow along and do it. Like, it wasn't difficult. There's a really good guide. If you do !build, you can see the guide I followed, Wave Depth. Anarchy, thank you for being here, man. Thank you for being here. I need to catch up with you more often. I'm so sorry I don't reach out more often. I like it's this is the longest I've gone since I joined the hobby without seeing you, because we haven't had a meetup all year. So I miss you, Anarchy. But yeah, it's just fun to do something a little bit different and try something new. So maybe I'll do some more stuff like this in the future. Maybe. We'll see. But that's it for now, guys. I'm not going to raid anyone because this wasn't really keyboard content. But thank you very much, and I'll see you guys at some point soon. Take care.